Oh, hello, hello, my friends. It's me, KP, and I'm here in my studio, and I am here for ArtFoamies Fun Friday. I hope you are too. Deb Peak is here, Bernadette, Catherine. Catherine, I hope you're feeling much better today. Kay Krings is here, Lisa, Nancy Gray, Jan, Cecilia, and that looks like our group for tonight so far. So hopefully we will have a few other people join us, and if not, we're just going to get makey without them. Anyway, I've been looking forward to this. Many of you know that we have been Rolodexing in our group, so we have some Rolodexy stuff to chat about. Let's see, Mary Lynn Kelly is here. Welcome, welcome. So I would love to ask you all how many of you are doing the Rolodexy. Chime in if you get a chance. I hope you're having a great week. We have some special fun planned for tonight. I just want to do a little show and tell, talking about some of my other favorite companies, and also talk about some stencils that recently came out that have to do with Rolodexing. Snow, yeah, we had snow yesterday, but it's been really pretty here today, really clear, but very cold. Patty, welcome. So I am going to pull out, just while we're chit-chatting. Well, you know what? No, I'll wait. I'm going to do a little show and tell. Oh, I'm so glad. Good. I'm going to turn the camera around. Again, welcome. Thanks for being here, everyone. It's nice to see you. I hope you're having a great week. I am going to be talking... Jan, I'm doing face a day, but trying to think about Rolodex cards. I've still been actually doing a little bit of both. And give me just a second because I have to fix my camera settings here. I'm having a little autofocus issues. So give me just a minute. All right, there we go. Deb, welcome. Acme Post is here. Wendy, good evening. I hope you're having a great day. All right, let's just I want to do a little show and tell first before we get started, because, you know, one of the things that makes my job so much fun is being able to collaborate with other artists, and it is one of the best parts of my job, and I wanted to just share with you. I received this in the mail from Kevin Nakagawa from Stampscapes, and I have been asking and asking him to please sell some of his original art. So many of you are familiar. We came out with Stampscapes ArtFoamies earlier, or let's see, when did later last year. And he sent me this. I'm so excited. I've been telling him, oh, I'm going to open it live, and then each live it would just get past me. So here we go. Please go over and make sure that you check out Stampscapes if you haven't already, and that you give him some ArtFoamy love. And look at that. Oh my gosh. I've been saving this to open just to share with all of you. And isn't this amazing? So this is done with Kevin's ArtFoamies on holographic paper, and he is amazing, and I just can't say thank you enough, Kevin. I've been dying to have one of your pieces hanging in my studio, so I'm so honored and just absolutely thrilled. This is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Anyway, yeah, make sure that you go over and say hello to Kevin at Stampscapes. Yes, I know. Oh my gosh, he is amazing. Look at this.
Wow.
I know. Beautiful. M says hello, everyone.
Hi, foamy friends. I lost my voice because of some stress.
Anyway, I have to pull this out just one more time. Again, a little show and tell. Thank you, Kevin Nakagawa from Stampscapes, from the bottom of my heart. I absolutely love your Stampscapes, and we are so honored to carry them. And yes, Jan says he is a master, and he definitely is. I mean, I just marvel at his work all the time. So yes. And he is so, so nice, right? So go over, make sure you look at his rubber stamps. Again, Stampscapes, make sure that you have his ArtFoamies and watch and subscribe to his YouTube channel. He does wonderful videos. So make sure that you go over and say hi and tell him that KP sent you. Right? I know. I'm so excited. Maxie Moon is here. Hi, Maxie. So I've been waiting to open this to show and tell with all of you. Again, thank you, Kevin Nakagawa, and your awesome Stampscapes. All right, I'm going to set this aside. Here, I got to set it somewhere safe. I don't want anything getting on it or splattering on it. I got to get a frame for it. All right, my other show and tell. Many of you know that I have a long history with rubber stamps, and once upon a time, my parents owned a rubber stamp company back in the 90s, and then I bought Rubber Moon from the original owner in 2012. I sold Rubber Moon last March of 22. To Sarah Vuxen at 100 Proof Press. And I just had to pull these out. She sent me these a little while ago, and I wanted to do a little show and tell. And I wanted to save them because I am going to be using many of these on my Rolodexies. But you know that we have the matching ArtFoamies to most all of the stamps that she sent me. So if you love these images, then you're going to love them small or you're going to love them large. But either way, make sure you visit 100 Proof Press and also Rubber Moon and give them a little ArtFoamy love. All right, I just love wood-mounted stamps. So she spoiled me with a few wood-mounteds, a few of my favorites. Yes, I know, they're so, so cute. And this eyeball. So many of you, and you know what, I sent away, I think I sent my Rolodex sample that I did with all this, I don't remember what this is called now, but the all-seeing eye or something like that. And I definitely want to do another piece with the stamps and the ArtFoamies. And then you all will recognize this too. It is the measure bar. And of course, we also offer it in an ArtFoamy size. So you know, having the variety, I think, is really, really nice. Yeah, the little Cupid doll. Yeah, a Cupid. Sort of a Cupid. And I just love it. And the ArtFoamy, she's rather large. I do think I have some of the samples here to share with you somewhere. Do I? No, maybe not. I thought I made some. Oh, yeah, I do. Here she is. Look at that. There's the Cupid doll in the ArtFoamy size. And then here she is in the rubber stamp size. Super fun either way. All right, I'm going to pull the rest of these out because, again, they do have matching ArtFoamies, many of them. Now, this is a nice big size, so the ArtFoamy might not be. Actually, I think the ArtFoamy is an exact reverse of this, so that this will stamp inside of the ArtFoamy. I'll have to do that. You know what? Maybe we'll do that at the after party. So anybody who is my patron is invited to the after party. Okay, all tiers. So I hope that you'll come at least for a few minutes. We're not going to stay late tonight because my kids are visiting. And oh, here's the Krampus. Anyway, so I know you can't see these that well. She did send me a few extras as well. So I'm very excited to play with these. Again, here is the paintbrush and the little paint tube. So you can see the size difference is just great. Anyway, again, wanting to pull out a few things to show and tell with you and to remind you to support your other small businesses, businesses that we love and, you know, that we're going to be using in our art. So speaking of that, we are also going to be talking about stencils tonight because, you know, one of the things that ArtFoamies work really, really well with is stencils. And I think many, if not all of you, know that I have had but I don't talk about it that much. I do have my own stencil designs, both with Stencil Girl and also with iStencils, okay? And I have the different ones because, like, at the time, back when I started this, iStencils was doing my small little ATC stencils, and it was really back before, you know, too many small stencils were coming out. And then I did have some larger stencils and some square stencils with Stencil Girl very early on. So I want to pull those out because I am going to be talking about stenciling to do with Rolodexing, because again, many of you who follow me and many of you who are in my patron group know that we have been talking Rolodexes and doing, we call it Rolodexy in our group, back since last summer. So recently, Stencil Girl just came out with this little collection of Rolodex type, or we'll call them stencil decks, type stencils. And so I thought we'd have a little go at that tonight because, again, they go so well with ArtFoamies, and because I had just recently also come out with something I call a foamy dex, which is really just the shape of a Rolodex card that you can do all sorts of stuff with, at least to get your base layers if you want to do Rolodexes. Okay, and we're going to talk about Rolodexes, and I'm going to show you some Rolodex card art and also the different size of Rolodexes that are available. All right. So let me stop for a second. I'm going to read the comments. You could make the rubber stamp the doll for the ArtFoamy to hold. Oh my gosh, yes, so cute. So cute. We're doing it. So please come to the after party because we will do a couple of these ideas we're talking about, especially if you remind me. Carissa is here. Welcome, welcome. I hope I didn't miss anybody. For anybody who I did not say hello to, I welcome you and thanks for being here. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about Rolodexes first before we get started, just in case we have anybody new who may have not joined us before. So, of course, all of you know what a Rolodex is, right? A Rolodex is a card file that has little channels and usually two sort of bars to hold your cards in place. Rolodexes were a huge deal for many years in the office to keep track of phone numbers and business contacts, etc., etc. Of course, they've sort of been overtaken throughout the years by computers and phones and all that sort of stuff, but they still manage to have a place in our hearts just because they're old school. And I recently, well, last summer, started wanting to use a Rolodex to collect my small bits of art, okay? And so I started I bought a vintage Rolodex online. You can buy all sorts of Rolodexes, okay, on eBay, on Etsy, on Mercari, on all sorts of marketplaces. So if you are looking for an old Rolodex, they're out there to be found, okay? You can find so many different types. I prefer, my own personal preference is open style like this, so that I can make art that goes higher. Some of them are on a spinner, and that's kind of cute, but then it really limits your size, okay? I want to pull this out while we're talking about Rolodexes and show you the different sizes, okay? There's many different sizes of Rolodexes. There's also different brands. Of course, Rolodex was the main brand, but there are other office, type products that have holders and, different accessories, I guess you could say, to go along. But I just wanted to pull out the standard cards to show you, first of all. And let me grab a piece of black paper so that you can just see a little bit better. So I would say the most standard is the 2¼ by 4. This is 2¼ by 4 inches. And please notice that the openings, the little tabs that are cut out are 1 inch apart. Okay. The next one that's the most standard is the 3 by 5. Okay. And again, these are regular Rolodex cards that came in the Rolodexes that I purchased. Okay. So it's sort of like the same weight as an index card. Okay. Anyway, this is 3 by 5. And again, please notice that your tabs are wider. So you know, you're different. They will not work together. So if you get a small Rolodex holder, you need to make sure that your tabs are 1 inch apart. Okay. And again, this is a 2¼ by 4, 3 by 5. Here are a couple different ones, and these are more vintage, a little bit harder to find. This is a 4 by 6. And again, please notice that your tabs, of course, are much wider apart, and actually the little punch outs are even a little bit different of a shape. Okay. And again, this is a 4 by 6. This is a 5 by 8, probably the most unusual, at least that I've seen so far. And it does have the same tabs or the same punch outs as the 4 by 6, and they are the same width apart as far as at least on one section. Okay. But they still do not obviously work together. Do you see what I mean? Because of the placement of where the tabs are cut out. So anyway, the 4 by 6 and the 5 by 8, again, the most probably unusual and harder to find. And I am going to pull them out and show them to you, the actual Rolodex files or holders. But I also wanted to share something else with you. If you're wanting to make your own Rolodex cards, okay? So here we have an old Heidi, well, I don't know if she's old, but I don't mean Heidi Swap's old. A Heidi Swap memory Dex punch. And it will punch out the holes, okay, for the 2¼ by 4. So if you have a Heidi Swap memory Dex punch, okay, it is going to work for this small size card, because you can see that's how the punch lines up. Now, something else that's a little bit more challenging to find is once upon a time, Zephyr American, or the Rolodex Corporation, which was later bought out by Merrick, did make a punch. This is a vintage punch. It cost about $50. They're very, very difficult to find, but they do punch out the 3 by 5 size. Okay, so if you can find one of these, now please just note, this is really important if you are into this at all. These Rolodex does have all sorts of hole punchers, okay? They're regular standard hole punchers. You have to make sure, if you're looking for one of these, that it does have the correct size or the correct type of holes, okay? Because again, Rolodex does or did make lots of regular hole punchers, okay? Punches. Christina Fidanza, will a punch for a disk system work for Rolodex cards? I have to be very, very honest with you. I do not know, because I've never used one. I don't think so. I want to say I'm leaning to no, but that is something for you to experiment with, or talk to somebody who is more knowledgeable on that than I am. Okay. So just one more time, I'm just going to show you the sizes before we get going. We have the 2¼ by 4. We have a 3 by 5, and then a 4 by 6. okay, and a 5x8. Now, lots of times now, since there are no known punches available for these, okay, I do not know of any punches that are available for these sizes. This is something that you're going to have to trace, get your hands on and trace. I do want to tell you that I am coming out with a memory dex piece for these larger sizes. It's only I'm in the process of making, kind of as we speak. It should be available really soon. If anybody's interested, it's just going to be the strip that it's just going to be like this, only it's going to be a strip so that you can sort of make your own and at least have the trace lines, okay? So that's what I'm working on for that. In the meantime, one of the reasons I wanted to bring out stencils and talk about stencils, and actually Stencil Girl specifically tonight, is because for those of you who belong to her stencil club, Tina Walker, I don't know how many of you follow Tina Walker. She's a mixed media artist, here in the mixed media community that does all sorts of stencils and, mixed media. She does a lot with Stencil Girl, and she does a lot of mixed media projects. And she came out with a set of, things to make your own Rolodexes. And I thought it was really, really fun and interesting. And I thought it went really well with the foamy decks. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to join that stencil club, and I am going to get these stencils and give them a go, give them a try. It's funny because I do have 2 separate lines of my own stencils, but I don't really use stencils that often. So I thought it would be a fun way to sort of get me thinking outside the box, get me breaking out my stencils, and just sort of a fun and different way to share with all of you. So you can see what I've done here. I took my 4, and I do want to mention that these stencils are specifically designed for the 4x2, 4x2 1/4, okay? Because the little tabs, as you can see, line up with the 2 1/4 by 4, all right? So, and the fun thing about this is she did do, thinking again outside the box. And I personally love doing things that are raised up. And I will show you my Rolodexes in a moment as well. But so that's sort of fun. These are going to be really a fun shape, and also are going to really stand out in my Rolodex. All right. So before we get started on a makey, I will pull out my Rolodexes and share them with you. Okay. Now, a lot of them I have only recently started in January on my main and first Rolodex. Okay. This was my very first one. And the thing that I love about it, again, this is the Zephyr American. You can see it is an oldie but a goodie. Zephyr American. It is metal. It's very heavy. I really like it also because it does have the stand. So if I want to stand it on its side like so, I can have it open more like a journal, which I think is really cool. Of course, I feel like that takes up a little bit too much space, so I don't usually keep it that way. I am going to just share this with you from the top, from the front, okay? And again, I love the way that it closes up like this, or it can open and you can just flip through all of your art. And again, you can see, oh, here's that stamp. Here's that ArtFoamy with the opened right to it. But anyway, you can see I love to go high. And I am sort of also keeping track of my ArtFoamies. So for example, this is the ArtFoamy of the month for January. This was the freebie. So now I can always have a record of it. And this is my January, collection. And I do also keep things from friends and things that people send me. So there's some of that. This is beautiful paper that my friend Jim sent me, made with the echo. I can't think of what it's called, like an echo dyeing that he does. And oh, I wish you could feel it. It feels like velvet almost. Anyway, for if you're in our group or even if you're not and you want to Rolodexy with us, please use hashtag Rolodexy whenever you post. And I'm not going to do a complete flip through, but I just want you to see some of the artwork done. Many, many of them with ArtFoamies, of course. Lots of collage, some Yupo, and oh my gosh, just so many fun things. I just love keeping little mementos. It's just such a great way. Here again is the measure bar. So I was showing you those rubber stamps earlier. You can see the size differential there. Anyway, talking about going up, we have lots of tall cards, and I do love the way that they end up sort of, you know, showing themselves. I also love to make things with little pockets so you can hold little treasures, little gift tags and things that people send to you. This is one of my favorite ArtFoamies. Lots of washi tape. Oh yeah, so fun. Here again with some of the imprint pads. Oh, Inat Kessler's new stamps. Oh my goodness, we have Wendy Aspinall's collage sheets. Oh my goodness, so many good ones. All right, and there you go. There's the big baby doll. She's fallen down. See how her little arms just hook right on there? That is just so cute, right? Oh my gosh. So many demos. I've done so many demos of different things. So this is my February card. And this again is the February freebie with purchase. Here's one talk about going up high. And then here's my new little trio for celebrating Face-A-Day February. And then again, the little Playhouse by Asahi. I hope all of you had a chance to see those new designs. This one I actually laminated, and that makes a really cute, fun Rolodex card as well. So there you go. That is in my 3x5 Rolodex, okay? And I'm going to be adding to it all year long, okay? So you will be seeing many more Rolodexes in the future. Again, I will pull this one out also just to show you. It is nowhere near done. It's kind of a mess. But this is my 5x8, and I am trying, and I'm going to be cataloging all of my ArtFoamies, all of the different collections from the different artists are going to be cataloged in here. So it's sort of a mess right now, but I promise that I'm working on it. So here's a bunch of Asahi's cards. So that's what I'm going to do with the 5x8. I also recently was gifted 2 Rolodex holders. This one is really fun. It is obviously not, a traditional or vintage Rolodex. It is from Etsy, and it's called Catalog Decks. And I love the way also that it's open, and you can really stack things up high. And I am keeping so many of my treasures that my friends send me in this one. And I especially like it in this one because I really can flip through, and they're just really open. And I love the color. And this one was sent to me by my friend Linda, and she is the one who introduced me to catalog decks. Although my friend Carolyn also recently sent me some really beautiful cards. So this company, if you're interested in doing the Rolodexy or Rolodex art, then definitely visit Catalog Decks on Etsy. Okay? Yes, right? The 5x8 is so cool. I'm really happy with it. And I will share with you just a couple of my other ones. Now, this is just a plastic Rolodex one, but I went ahead and I gave it a little makeover, a little makey over. And it is for my daily gratitudes, okay? So this one I keep separate, and I just put my daily doodles and gratitudes in this one. And I did find these little cards. These are from Heidi Swap, and I found them, I believe, on Etsy or Mercari. And I really like that for my gratitudes, because I do a daily gratitude almost every day, and that will keep all of my 2023 cards all nice and in order. All right. Okay, so that's Rolodexies, my friend. And so let's go ahead and get a little bit makey. As you can see, what I did here was I just took a piece of watercolor paper, took my little foamy decks, okay, and there's a couple different ways we're going to work with these girl stencils. And again, you do have to join the Stencil Girl Club to get these. So, you know, I don't know if you're already a member of the club, that's great. If you want these and you want to join the club, I believe it's like, yeah, it's $25. But you do get both the stencils, and then you get to be in their group and all that. So, you know, that's up to you. Maybe they'll come out with more Rolodex stuff, just more open to the general public. But I thought, you know, it was worth giving it a go. And I really like Tina Walker, and I like her stuff. So I said, oh, you know, it's worth it. And especially, I really wanted to play with the stencils with my little foamy decks. Okay. So first of all, I went about it by taking my Art Foamy, let's see, and I did put just a little bit of ink on it. You can use watercolor. Let's use a little watercolor first, just so I spritzed it with a little water. Let's use watercolor just because using something a little bit more water soluble right now, I think is more desirable. All right, so we're going to just take a watercolor crayon, and I'm just going to smush that all over my little foamy decks here. Give it another squirt. Now, if I want to have it sort of a more even consistency, then I maybe take my Scrap Buddy and just give it a little sort of smush, and that'll make it a little more consistent. If you don't mind having some striations and things, then you don't worry about it. It's not going to matter because we're going to go over it with the stencil anyway, right? At least for the 2 1/4 by 4s. All right, so there, what's nice about that is you already have the shape, you have all your base layer, and boom, you know, you're done. And then you can take whatever one of these stencils that you like, hold it right over, and of course, you know, let's just use a little Scrap Buddy. I do, excuse me, really like using the Scrap Buddies with the stencils. So I'm going to spritz this with a little bit of water, okay, right on my Scrap Buddy, and I'm going to take, again, just a darker color, or even, you know what, a little graphite will be nice. Let's use a little graphite. Use a little of our Lyra graphite stick right on my Scrap Buddy, and then I'm going to use it, again, lining everything up. Sorry, there's a glare in here. I'm having a little trouble seeing. So I do find, you know, pouncing works pretty well. I might have got a little too wet. One thing, I don't like working with a lot of water on a stencil because I think that it seeps through a little bit. So next time I'll keep it just a little bit drier. So that's a nice way if you want to use a little graphite right through your stencil. And it did, like I said, it got a little bit wet. That's okay. And hold it right down there again. This time we'll take it and give it a little spritz once again. I'm going to try this way. Again, take my scrap buddy and just I did not try this with my water soluble stick. I actually tried this with ink and it worked pretty well, but we're going to try it with this water soluble stick for now. Yes, the numbers, I think the numbers actually my favorite, followed by the leaves. So yeah, it didn't work as well with the water soluble, but yeah, you can see. I'm going to try it with the inks now. But that is kind of fun. The little thing that it left on there. And of course, you know, works great if you just get your baby wipe. Yes, that's a good thing too, Jim. You can definitely, you know, sign up if you find a set of stencils that you love. Sign up and get those and then, you know, leave for a while and go back. I mean, people do that in Patreon sometimes too. It's great. It's, you know, use. All right, so any of these are going to be, you know, usable. Again, just as base layers are fantastic. Try to stamp this. It's going to be backwards, of course, but I'm going to do it anyway, just because I'm compelled to try it. Jan, I know. So one of my other friends too, she said, I finally broke down and got a Rolodex. I wasn't going to do it, but you've just convinced me. So yeah. Oh, actually it's kind of cool. I know you probably can't see it real well, but it does leave a little ghost print there. So that was kind of fun. All right. So that's with that. I am going to take some inks. Let me clean this off. Because this actually did work for me and I thought it was really, really fun. Again, I am just using some lightweight watercolor paper here. I actually prefer, if I'm going to make my Rolodex cards, generally 140 pound or thicker. If you want like a nice hefty, you know, card. All right, I'm going to take some of my Moon Glow inks. You know, I love doing this. I'm going to take a little of my Moon Glow inks. I'm going to just do a little green and blue for a nice kind of teal color here. So remember, you can get all kinds of really beautiful gradients doing it this way. Oh, and it didn't go through the way it did earlier. Let me spritz this with a little alcohol. I was doing this earlier and it was doing so great. And I was like, wow, it works. It's awesome. And now it's not working when I'm live here with you. D says, I found a Rolodex and cards at a local thrift store for $2. That's awesome. I also found one at a thrift shop. Well, that did work, but it soaked through. It didn't do it the same as when I did it. I don't understand. Oh, well, maybe I can't walk and chew gum at the same time. Let's try it right over this. There we go. That was a little bit better. That it's nice because the foam will squish through. And then, of course, you know, the other kind of cool thing is that you can come back with your stencils and go right back over the top. So, you know, it's all about the layers. And I always tell, and look at that one. Oof, that is fantastic, right? Kind of like that ghost print. Yes, I know. I love like I was saying, the leaves and the numbers I think are my favorite. Although I haven't tried the round ones yet, and I think those are going to be really cute too. That coffee cup I really love. Yeah, it was a little bit. It's okay. You know, just keep playing with it. I did do these two, as you can see. So we're going to go ahead and cut those out. And, you know, oh, and I wanted to make one more for you here because I like this little sun. I thought it would be super cute if we did it as sort of peeking up over the top. So let's just take, let's get a little scrap buddy. And, we'll do a little of our coral fire. And again, I don't want it too juicy. Well, it's pretty juicy. It's going to bleed. It's okay. Actually wanted blue, but I don't have a blue pen handy. See, now most of you can see why I don't really have an affinity for stencils. Even my own, I am just not that good with them. But I think it's sort of like with anything else, like it's a lot about layering. So I'm not going to worry about it. If my stencils didn't print perfectly, I am okay with that. And I will go back over them, layer them up. The other thing I will recommend that you have on hand if you're doing Rolodexes, and especially if you want to be making your own cards, is a corner rounder. So there's all sorts of, you know, different brands. And then, of course, you know, it's nice. You already have that little guide for where they're going to punch out. And you can see here on this punch, the 4 or the 2 1/4 by 4, it does have the little guidelines there. And again, I do really love having the cards that have the little peekaboos over the top. You can write messages in them. So again, even though my stencil didn't come out perfectly, it's okay. That's what they make gesso for. Yes, Catherine, great, great comment. I want to bring to your attention what Catherine said. There are dies, too, that you can buy for the mini cards that you can, you know, run through your little die machine. And make all kinds of really cute ones. I'll show you one that my friend Jan sent me, and it was done with a special die. Here she put this thing so you can open it, and I just love it. It's almost like a little like a little triptych. So all sorts of stuff. Just, you know, if you're loving, you know, I only, again, recently sort of discovered, and I don't mean that I discovered it, but I only came to doing Rolodex art sort of by accident. And, you know, we started doing it in our group, and I just love it because I love the size. I love the fact that we can swap and share. I love that it works so great with stamps and with ArtFoamies and stencils too. But you know, like, it's people been doing Rolodex art forever. Okay, I didn't discover it. I just sort of came to it this past summer, and honestly, really wish I'd been doing it even longer. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to cut a couple more of these out. I'm not going to punch them all out for you, but we are going to just do a couple. I do want to do one of the circular ones. We'll do the little coffee cup maybe. And then, of course, you know, I can also use my paper cutter if I want these to be a little more perfected. But I will go through and, you know, make sure they're all squared up and then use my corner rounder on them. But it is really nice if you just want to make a whole bunch of cards at once, because again, you can just take your little foamy decks, make yourself a whole bunch of backgrounds, okay? All sorts of backgrounds. You can see I got all sorts of colors, and then you can just take your stencils, even if you want to do the same one, you know, one right after the other, or if you just wanted to go through, which I do like this one too. Let's try the little plant. Again, I just have a little bit of ink on my Scrap Buddy. And Scrap Buddies are really nice applicators for the stencils, I think. So cute. Oh my gosh. And really fast too, right? So I would not be sad to send this to, you know, a friend in a Rolodex swap. The drawing, of course, I really do like the little lines there. You can put your return address. And oh yes, I'm supposed to mention, I'm so sorry, I forgot, we are running a special at ArtFoamies tonight for a 3-day weekend. It's 3-day weekend sale. And so it's buy 3 get 1 free when you shop at artfoamies.com on your ArtFoamies. So grab yourself a couple foamy dexes, and you can also get the new little face set that I came out with, which I am going to also share with you, because of course I did make some Rolodexes with it, because I am also celebrating Face-A-Day February. Many of you know that I have been doing Face-A-Day February for, this is my 8th year, which is so funny because I was telling everybody it was only my 7th year, because dang it, time is going by way too fast. But anyway, it is my 8th year. And so I had to do a little set of faces, you know, to sort of commemorate the month. Okay. So let me finish cutting this out, and then I'll show you my other little Rolodexes too. Oh, so I just think that is so cute. And I love the little hands coming up above. And of course you could cut that out and it would be like a little peekaboo window there, but I just wrote the word love. We'll do this too. And one thing, I will show you the backs, even though they are kind of a mess. I just had a bunch of, well, let's see, some of it was, no, never mind. I was using my my blotter paper on the back, and so some of the backs had like these abstracts on them. But none of these, so never mind. Let's see, I'm reading. Jim. Huh. Well, you sent me beautiful Rolodex cards, Jim. Let's see. All right. I was just trying to read the comments and see if I was missing anything. Of course, if you have any questions, let me know. I am going to also share with you a few other things, and I do want to do this coffee cup, so let me pull this out. I'm dying to do one of these round ones. Oh, and here's, I had a few other ones completed, so I wanted to show those to you. Pretty cute, right? So all that, I mean, look, I have done all the, oh, here's the ones that had like little abstracts on the back, just because I was using my blotter paper, but I still think it's kind of cool, right? Anyway, I made all of these today. So, you know, it's pretty quick work. And then of course I could embellish and fix up the backs, but I feel pretty accomplished in just getting a whole handful of cards. And actually I'll have quite a lot more if I just get, you know, these cut out. And then at least I have all my base layers, even if they're not perfect or ready to go. I will have quite a few, you know, ready for more layers and to send to my friends or to collect in my many Rolodexes. All right, so here I did do a couple of these faces, and I think I did one on my big Rolodexy, so I need to just trace along the bottom, and then I'll cut that out, and then this will go right into my 5x8 Rolodex. But I did want to share with you that the different faces, here they are just stamped. And then, of course, here they are painted and watercolored and colored. So we'll play with those some more. I've been showing some of these faces over in my Patreon for Face a Day February. And, of course, I think they'll be really cute right on a Rolodexy, too, like peeking up over the top. All right, let's come back around. Okay, we'll mess with these a little bit later, maybe in our after party, but I do want to do one of these rounds, so I am going to get another piece of watercolor paper here. And we're just gonna do this little guy up. I think I'm gonna go ahead and put some color down first. So let's, just do a little ink, I guess. Blue ink. Yes, thank you. Oh, you know, and the other thing you can do, I do want to show you, because I was making some really fun abstract ones just using the foamy decks, and that was really fun too. I think I'm going to use a little paint over the top. You know, I'm going to go ahead and use that paint for my outlines as well, just to sort of give a little unity and the coloration around. Little green gold, because a little green gold never hurt anyone. Favorite color combo, just so you know, green gold and neon pink. Oops, and I just put the wrong lid. Yes, ATC coins. I think you're right, Catherine. I really do. Ooh, I love, love, love it. Oh, I knew I would love this one. So, so cute. All right, let's go ahead. And of course, you can embellish with paint pen. Let's get a little, where's my white paint pen here? All right. Where did my white paint pen take off to? I knew I cleaned up way too good before I started. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and outline. And of course, you know, we're going to cut this out. But if, again, you know, and if you need to fussy cut these out, it's fine. I don't really ever have a problem fussy cutting out my little tabs, okay? But I will admit to you that having the punch is so much nicer. But, you know, if you don't have one, it's okay. Just use your scissors. All right. And then I think it would be really fun to, I'm going to go ahead and punch this out. And then these are up just a little high, so you can either trim them out or maybe go back in, you know, I don't know. It's up to you if that, but it's going to be in the holder anyway, so it's not going to really show. Not a big deal. I'm going to actually take my imprint pad and just a little bit, oh gosh, what color? Let's just smear some of this across the back. And this is just, again, if you have imprint pads, this will be a great way to finish off the back really, you know, sort of quickly and easily if you want to have the back at least, you know, semi-embellished or whatever. Right? So, pretty cute. All right. Let's see. What else did I want to share with you? It seems like I'm forgetting something. Let me stop. Ooh, that would be so cute too. Carissa says, I'd mount the circle on top of foil or mirror paper so I'd have a shiny edge. That would be cute. Or, of course, you could take your, you know, if you don't have that, you could take your, you know, metallic markers or even some embossing powder, right? Yeah. Catherine, you're so funny. What do you want to measure? Did I missed something? Linda says, I need to go to Disneyland and do a photo Dexy. You have to tell me what that is because I have no idea. Carmen Jones, good evening. Anyway, I want to thank you all for hanging out with me and getting makey and spending time having a little art foamy fun. Again, just talking about some of our favorite companies. I want to say again, thank you to Kevin at Stampscapes for his beautiful artwork and his contributions to Art Foamies. I want to say thank you to Sarah Vuxen at 100 Proof Press and Rubber Moon for your friendship and for all the wonderful rubber stamps that you have and are still yet to come. I hope all of you will still watch Rubber Moon because I do have, talk right over that, Rubber Moon, because I do have some new stamps coming out at Rubber Moon soon. Woohoo! It's been a while. Yes, Bernadette, if you order 6, you do get 2 free. Yep. Ooh, Linda, I need that in my life. I had not heard of that. We're going to have to talk about that later. Again, let me just go through some of the Rolodexy cards I made using the new Stencil Girl Club stencils from Tina Walker. Super fun, and they do go great with the foamy decks. It's almost like they're a little match made in crafty heaven. All right, so really cute. You got the little silhouettes. You got the love and hearts. You got the little plant with the little text, text lines. You got the little sunshine and the little postage cancellation. We got the plants and the leaves and the fronds. And more of the same, which I love. And then the numbers, which I think is my favorite. But I have a lot of favorites. I think they're super cute, really fun and creative collection. Little round ones with coffee cups and butterflies. And you got sort of, I'm not sure what this is. I think it kind of looks like a rainbow, kind of like a thumbprint. So I'm not really sure, but it's kind of cool. And then you got the Monstera leaf here, which I also love that one. I wish I would have done that. And then the little Chihuahua doggy, which is kind of cool because you also do, I think, oh, you might have to snip this away, but you get a little mask because there's a couple little masks still stuck in here. So I'm not sure if that's supposed to be on there or if it's just, or if I'm lucky or unlucky to have that because it's stuck on there pretty good. So if you do have those, I guess you want to kind of carefully snip it away. And then you will have a little mask on top of your little stencil there. So now I have a little Monstera leaf mask and the cutout. And then the same with the little Chihuahua doggy over here. You just have to be careful because you don't want to cut up your stencil, which... me, I feel like all thumbs, so I'm probably not doing the best job here, but I can't outsmart it or out-strengthen it. There we go. So anyway, you got a butterfly, you got the coffee cup, you got a moon over a city, you have this rainbow, a Chihuahua dog, and a little Monstera leaf. Really fun, very clever set. So thanks to Tina Walker for coming out with that. And again, you do also get your little rectangle ones over here. All right, so that's with the stencil of the month with Stencil Girl Club. All right, so let's see what else. What size on the round stencils? The round stencils are, I'm pretty sure they really look like that those coins you were talking about, Catherine. Those are, well, they're still for the 2x4 size of Rolodex, okay, because of where the tabs are openings. But it's about 3.5 inches across, but yeah, about 3. So it's not really all the way around. It's like 3 by 3.5. Jim, yeah, I did okay after all. I will show you too while I have you a captive audience here. I do have other stencils with Stencil Girl. This is kind of funny because this is my very first stencil ever, and I believe it came out in around 2000 and I don't know, maybe 11 or 12, somewhere maybe 2012, 13, somewhere in there. And then I think I was like one of the very first people to come out with these scribbles. But anyway, so I have these in the 6x6 size. Again, these are with Stencil Girl. I also do have a collection with iStencils, but some of these older ones are still some of my favorites. I do love the let's see what's this one's called. I can't remember the name of them. Oh, I don't know. I can't remember names of my stamps I named yesterday. So this is Tribal Leaves. This one's kind of cool. And actually, I have to tell you, this I love. This was called Wheel in the Sky, I think. And I love it because I love just the sections. I love having this little section over here. And then this section, I actually stenciled that one out to make a Rolodexy. I did a couple of these actually. So I just think that is such a pretty shape. And again, think it'll make a nice looking Rolodex. Here, let's go ahead and cut it. So any of your stencils, any of your stamps or your art foamies, they really do make fun, fast, and successful Rolodex cards, because you really, you don't need a lot. You just need a few little supplies and your little punches. And I think this one I even am going to make sort of wonky. And just do it this way. You can layer it if you want to. Or you could even keep it in your Rolodex. Just like that, right? Nobody says they have to be symmetrical. Right? Yeah. So, yep. And then here I'm going to, and this will be fun too, because I'll be able to say, this was my very first stencil. So anyway, that's all I got for you tonight. I hope that you get all of your your watercolor paper out, your stencils, your art foamies, and all your punches, and get to making some Rolodexy cards. Please definitely follow us on art foamies if you're not already, and share if whether or not you're in my patron group or not. You can still share your art and your Rolodex cards with us. We would love it. All right. So yeah, super cute, and just makes it quick and easy and fun, right? And it can go right in here, and then look how cute they all look together, and it's still everything's kind of poking out there. Super cute. Sometimes the simplest things, that's just how it works out, right? And again, I'm just going to remind you that if you have all of those little pieces, where did I just put them, like all these I still have, okay, so I can be stenciling right over the top. I can take my little stamps. I'll just take my little Cupid stamp. I'll stamp her right on this little pink one. And look, she'll be ready to go. So cute, right? Fast, easy, and effective. All right. I know, it's so hard to say goodbye. All right, Nancy, thank you so much. I hope to see you all over in our Zoom. We're just going to go over there, do a couple things, say hello, and that'll be that. So I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and you know the deal. stay safe, stay sane, and stay makey. And I will see you next week. Thanks everybody for coming. Don't forget to shop at artfoamies.com. It's buy 3, get 1 free. See you soon. Bye-bye.